That's
soul,
fantastic.
deep connection we're talking about something more simple, more normal. We're talking about celebrating community. We're talking about natural kindness, ordinary interest, everyday humanity. Who knows? We might even develop a habit of liking each other. You know, I have got better at it over the years. I've practiced making contact because it was so alien to me. I noticed that I was on the East Coast visiting with a friend, and we went into a store like a 7-Eleven or something, and I went to check out, and I said to the person at the counter, "Hello, and how are you, and thank you." And my friend said, "Why are you talking to everyone?" You know, to tell the truth, I hadn't noticed that opening, and he helped me realize, you can get better. Because, you know, sometimes things get in the way of making contact. I know the things that have got in the way for me, and they come in the form of props that we use. Props are things we stand behind or on hiding, and they can come in any form. Maybe you've got your own. Some props that get in the way are, for example, a look. You know, you present yourself, or it could be an outfit, a dress, or it could be a gadget, or it could be a phone, or it could be too many words, or it could be an assumed silence, or it could be forced intimacy, or it could be a goal, or it could be an agenda, or it could be humor. You know, I'm talking about anything that when you're in a conversation, the props are more present than you are. And so the assignment for us this week is to see if we can start simply propless. Nice weather. Just like that 5-month-old. Just a smile. Just looking out at the world going, wow. How interesting that I should show up here. In the book, the author tells a story about his wife who, through the story, I've come to love her. Her name is Vivian. And he says she has an interesting habit, a special habit, he calls it, of making friends with people who treat her rudely or arrogantly. And here's how she does it. Let's say she's in some ordinary situation in a checkout line and somebody pushes in front of her. She doesn't argue with the person, and she doesn't even address the event that happened. Instead, what she does with true kindness in her heart is she tries to strike up a conversation. If the person has children, she mentions them. She mentions her own children. She talks about the weather until a connection develops into a smile. And her husband asked her, "Why do you do that?" And she said, "Well, you know, I've never really wanted enemies, and I'm a big believer in redemption." Wow. See how accessible goodness is. I mean, we've known, I don't know, since the 70s, that you can just go out and look for studies that talk about the connection between isolation and things like disease and depression and shorter life expectancy. It's all out there. And again, the good news is that we can learn to connect if we've been disconnected. There's a second part to the good news. It's the metaphysical part. The second part is this. We are already connected. You don't have to create it. It's more like remembering it and enjoying it, celebrating it. Maybe you've heard that phrase around here for a few times. There is only one life. And that life is God's life. And that life is perfect. And that life is? Yeah. Somehow, something inside of you already knows me. Wow. I mean, not in the sense of Stanley Milgram's 6 degrees of separation, that you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows me. No, even more than that. Something inside of me already knows you. And so my assignment then is, I'm not going to let my fear of rejection or failure get in my way of enjoying that, because, diversity is real. Because if it's not through you that I make that contact, next, because there's only one of us. And there's no loss. Just 5 months old. You look good. I'll smile at you. Take it or leave it. Next. See, there's only one life. And that life is God's life. And that life is perfect. And that life is my life right now. You see, this is you speaking. So I invite you to take a breath in and to exhale into a moment of prayer. As together we turn our attention to divinity, that which is everywhere present, Spirit. And remembering the words of the affirmation, there is a pattern for all of life. And within this pattern, there is harmony and peace and love and unity. And I am a part of this pattern. I use these words to anchor my awareness in the reality that I am in the right place. What a miracle that I showed up here. And this is you speaking. And so I covenant with myself to relax and to look out with ease and beauty and just observe the world as it appears. Take it or leave it. How wonderful. And through this, there arises in me, and this is you speaking, there arises in me a remembrance of my natural born ability to be warm, kind, happy, authentic, and I just accept it. And I give thanks for it. And with a deep sense of gratitude, I realize that all effort and strain is falling away from me. There's nothing to force or coerce, nothing to control. I am in the right place. I invite you to take another breath in as we exhale into another moment of quiet so that we can let the words complete themselves.
You are listening to Spiritual Living with Edward Fillion. This program is made possible through the generous contributions of listeners like you. If you would like to support this weekly broadcast, please make a donation on our website at centerforspirituallivingsantarosa.org. That's all one word, centerforspirituallivingsantarosa.org, or call area code 707-546-4543.